What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. And on today's service call, I found a package heat pump with a bad contactor. So if you want to see how I diagnose this, stay tuned and I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, I just got to the customer's house and what they're telling me is the unit is blowing air, but it just will not cool. I went inside, I turned the thermostat over to cooling, the fan, I checked the vents, the fan did come on, but it's definitely not cooling. So we need to go ahead and start at the outdoor unit, and this is a package unit to see if anything's coming on. So I'll meet you guys over at the package unit. Alright, we're over at the package unit. I went ahead and took everything apart. As you can see, the gas pack is not starting up. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to check our contactor. We can see that our contactor is pulled in, but the outside unit isn't working. So we need to check to see if we have power going into our contactor. And we have 240 volts. And let's check outside, going out of our contactor. And we have nothing. So basically our contactor here is pulled in, calling for air conditioning. You've got power going in, nothing coming out, so we need to replace that contactor. Alright, I got a new contactor on, and what I did to replace it, I just one wire at a time, took a wire off, put it back on each terminal, put our main wires going in, and now all we need to do is secure it on the unit itself. Now here is our contactor that we put in, and if you can see on these contacts, they're actually burnt to the point that it's not, when this contactor pulls in to close to call for your air conditioning to kick on, the pits on these contactors are preventing power from going through, and this is a typical thing for a contactor. The points on a little pit, it'll no longer send power through and your air conditioner won't come on. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this back to the unit. Alright, we got our contactor secured back in. We will turn power back on and see if it starts up. Alright, air conditioning kicked on. We're going to check to make sure it's cool. Alright guys, sorry about some of that call. The homeowner kept coming out and going back in, coming out and going back in. But basically what was going on with this thing, the unit would blow air, but the outside part of the air conditioning, my condenser fan motor and my compressor would not kick on. First thing when I see that, first thing I do is I check my contactor. My contactor was pulled in, so I checked power going into my contactor and power going out of my contactor, and I wasn't getting any power going out. And you remember, if I showed you the contacts on the contactor itself, you can see those things are burned and pitted and everything like that. And if they get really burned and really pitted, eventually it'll just get to the point it will not send power through anymore. So that's why it's always crucial on a maintenance call or something like that, if your contactor is starting to get burn marks or pits on the contactor, always recommend that to the customer of replacing it, because this is a perfect example that if it pits up too much, it'll stop the air conditioning from cooling. So I got the contactor in, started everything back up, the unit came on. I checked my freon charge, my freon charger is good. I checked the temperature drop inside, and I was getting a 19-degree temperature drop. So the air conditioner was working good, it was just the contactor that went out. So guys, it's a pretty easy service call. I'm glad we ran into a contactor. I don't think we've run into that before, but glad you guys for joining me. I hope you learned something on this call, and if you did, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And as always guys, I'll see you on the next service call. Bye.